Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Shalia Reddy and I make videos related to study abroad in this channel. So let's get into the video, and in this video I'm going to share about IELTS reading tips, tricks, shortcuts, hacks, whatever you want to name it, it's your wish. So many people are asking me about IELTS reading, like how share some tricks, tricks, tips, like that. So what all I know, what all I've used, what all I've experienced in my experience of IELTS preparation, what all I came to know, those all things I'm going to share in this video. So let's get into the video. Basically, first foremost thing I want to tell you is, initially when I started practicing for the first time, for the second time, for the third time, when I started practicing for the IELTS, even I got band like 6, I got like 5.5 band, I got like, I used to get between 27, 28, 29, 30. There are times where I got those scores, but later on when I improved, I used to practice, like I used to not lose the hope. So never lose the hope. First important tip I want to share with you is, eliminate the thought that IELTS reading is hard. When you're doing IELTS reading, think that writing is more harder than reading. When you're doing IELTS writing, think that reading is more harder than writing, like that. So it is very important that you motivate yourself. Okay, so first eliminate that thought that IELTS reading is hard. Okay, so initially I used to get 6 band, 5.5 band, 5 band, and from there I gradually improved, and in my final exam I got 8 bands in reading. So for me 8 bands is very good for me, because of that I could manage to get 7.5 in overall. So I'm very happy with my bands. So I'll be sharing, I've written everything in the notebook, I'll be sharing everything. So first, as I said, eliminate the thought that IELTS reading is hard. Got it? And second, so if you are getting less initially when you start practicing, if you're getting less, don't get demotivated, because there are some tests which are hard. So initially you started, you practiced, you got marks less than 30, and then gradually you improved, you got 32, 33, like that. And then later on, after getting 32, 33, once if you get 29 or 28, again don't get demotivated that I got 28. Some of the tests will be hard, some of the tests will be very hard that you cannot even manage to get 25 or at least in that. So don't get demotivated if you're getting less in 1 or 2 tests. That's common, it's quite common. Okay, so after that, first let me give you an overview of how IELTS reading is going to be. So it is going to be for 60 minutes, right? In 60 minutes you have to answer 40 questions. That is, the 40 questions are segregated into 3 sections. In first section you will have 13, then 13, and then 14, or like that. So 13, 13, 14, or 13, 14, 13, like that you'll have the bits, right? So initially, according to the instructions given by the IELTS, what they will tell you is, they will ask you to solve 20, they'll ask you to allocate 20 minutes for each and every section. But what I suggest you is, the first passage will be easier, second passage will be moderate, and the third passage will be harder. So the first passage will not require 20 minutes. Even when I practiced, I also noticed that the first passage is not taking 20 minutes. You can finish it off in 15 minutes, you can finish it off in 13 to 15 minutes. It is not at all a big matter. Okay, so you can save that time to the next passages which are a bit harder, right? Even for the second passage also, try to finish off it in the maximum of 20 minutes or 18 to 20 minutes. Somewhere you have to take between 18 to 20 minutes for the second passage. And for the third passage, the rest of all the time has to be given to that. And one more thing, don't start from the third passage, start from the first passage only. First, second, third, go in that way only, because as I said, third passage is going to be harder. Initially, if you start with the hard passage, number one disadvantage is your time will be wasted, and number two disadvantage is you will get demotivated. You will feel like it is very hard, you will lose all your patience, all your concentration, all your energy there itself. So that is why first don't go with the third passage, start from the first passage only. Got it? And maximum of all the tests will be in this way only: first easy, second medium, third hard. But in case if it is not like that for you, then in that case I cannot do anything. But in my case, even in the practice tests and even in the final exam also, I notice the same pattern. Got it? And next, so this is next, in IELTS, since you don't have negative marking, answer all the questions. Even if you don't get the answer also, in the last, if you're having 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, in that time also write something, options or any answers or any word like that. If you're guessing anything, write and come, but do not leave it, because it is not having any negative marking, right? Next, and if you're writing a paper based test, in each and every section, at the end of each and every section, that is, you have solved first 13 questions, then for that 13 questions, write the answers in the OMR script. In case of computer based test, you need not do that, right? In computer based test, you can directly select the answer then and there itself. But in case of paper based test, initially you have to write it in the question paper, and then you will be transferring it to your actual OMR script or answer script, right? So don't do that. Don't wait till the last, because like in listening, you'll not have any extra time at the end. So in that 60 minutes itself, you have to also complete transferring the answers. So I suggest you, at the end of each section, or for each every 10 questions, or for every 15 questions, do that. Transfer your answers to the OMR script. Got it? And one more thing, you have to always read the instructions before you start solving any question type. On the top, you'll have instructions like whether you have to, what you have to do, like you have to write something in the blanks, or you have to select an option, or you have to select more than one option. And in case of paragraph headings or matching information, you can see like the instruction will be like one, you can answer like more than one, it can have like that. And also word count is very important. And one more thing, for yes no not given and true false not given, do not get confused. For true false not given, if you write it as yes, even though the answer is true, and if you write it as yes, you will not be given mark. So don't confuse between true false not given and yes no not given. Got it? So, and one more thing, one more tip, don't waste time on not given questions. See, if you're not able to find anything even after reading for 1 or 2 minutes, then obviously it's going to be not given only. Okay, so don't waste time on searching for the information which is not in the passage. Got it? So, and the next is very important tip I want to give you is to underline the keywords. If you encounter any keywords in the question, underline them. So what do you mean by keywords? Keywords are nothing but some standard words which do not change according to me. So many people will say some synonyms also will come under keywords, but according to me, I used to underline words like names, places, years, dates, university names, or any special nouns, particularly we can say. Okay, verbs, adjectives, they will change. The word will not be as it is in the passage. But in case of names or years or dates or places, they will not change. The nouns will not change, right? They will be as it is in the passage. But in case of adjectives or verbs or adverbs, so they have the chance of changing, right? So you can underline them, and then you can start reading the passage. And first, according to me, one more tip I want to give you is first read the questions only. Do not go to the passage, because once you read the complete passage and come to the questions, then you'll obviously forget. Once you read the question, catch a keyword, and with that keyword, if you start searching, if you start matching that keyword with the question, with the passage, then it will be more easier for you when compared to reading the complete passage and going to questions. That is what I've noticed. So in the GRE exam, some people will say that first you have to read the passage, but for me, according to me, I don't think so. In IELTS, reading the passage first will not work out. Okay, so yeah. And also one more thing, you have to also know which question types are in order, like which question types will have questions in order and which question types will not have questions in order. For example, true false not given will be in order, that is according to the passage. So in the passage, in the first line, if you have the first question, then the second question will be after the first question only, third question will be after the third only, like that. Some questions will be in the order of the passage and some questions will be against to the order of the passage. You have to identify which questions are according to the order and which questions are against the order, and then so that you can save some time. Okay, so that's that yeah. And yeah, still some are there. So for any question type, you should not read the question, you should not read all the questions. So for suppose you're taking true false not given, so in true false not given you have 5 to 7 questions, let us suppose. First, don't read all the 5 questions or all the 7 questions. Read 2 questions, because you will forget what is in the first question or what is in the second question. You will forget by the time you come to 7th question, because you don't have much time to read and to memorize the information, right? You have only less time where you don't have time to memorize the information. That is the reason why do not read all the questions at a time. Read 2 questions and then search and you have read 2 passages, you have read 3 passages, still you're not able to get it, then read the third question, then search. Like that you keep on incrementing the questions, but do not read everything at a time, okay? You will forget. Yeah, and while you are reading you have to pay at most concentration, which is very 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 important, because concentration is very important in case of listening or reading. If you miss out one question in listening, it is going to be a big problem for you. Even in the reading also, if you miss out one question, you're going to waste if you miss out one keyword or one transition word or whatever it is, you're going to waste a lot of time on that. So full concentration has to be paid. And when you are underlining the keywords also, as I said previously, you have to underline the keywords. When you are underlining the keywords also, in the question, in the passage, if you have encountered, you came across a keyword which is not related to the question which you are searching, okay? Suppose you are searching for name of some university name, okay? Let us suppose you're searching for some university name, but you did not, instead of that university name, you happen to notice the name of a scientist, okay? If even though the scientist name is not relevant to your question, also underline it, because later point of time it may be useful for you later in some other questions, that may be useful for you, right? So that is why when you are going across the passage, even though the keyword is not related to the one which you are searching also, just underline it. Got it? So this is what you have to do. And while you're reading the passage also, if like the scientist, some of the scientist name or some of the places name or some names will be harder for us to pronounce it, so don't waste time on understanding that pronunciation, don't waste time on trying to understand that spelling, leave it. It is not a spell bee competition, they are not checking our spellings, right? So just, okay, so and so person, and go on, okay? Do not waste time on reading or understanding complex words. Got it? Complex sentences or spellings. Got it? So yeah, this is all about my the things which I have noted to share with you regarding the IELTS reading. So do not worry guys, IELTS reading is not too hard. See, it is hard, I accept it, it is hard, because initially when I started practicing also, I was very much frustrated. I did not get marks in the starting. Gradually I kept on improving, I kept on practicing without losing hope. So I had enough time to practice, and it was not possible for everybody to have enough time to practice. So if you're planning, just plan it in advance only. So this is all about this video. I hope this video will be useful for you. I know I've shared all the tips which you already know, but just to give you a clarity that will these tips really work out? If these tips are really working out, then why I'm not getting marks? You'll have these questions, right? So just to give you clarity that these tips will definitely work out, right? So no new tip I have given, because I'm not a a pro IELTS teacher or a pro English teacher to give you some new tips. All the tips which everybody know only I have given you, but still these will really work out. That is what, that assurance I want to give you through this video particularly. Okay, so thanks for watching the video till the end. If you're still having any doubts, just let me know in the comment section. Let's meet up in the next coming video. And if you are having any video suggestions for me, just let me know that also in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video till the end. Let's meet up in the next coming video with another topic. Till then, stay tuned to my channel. Bye bye.